Can you answer 2, 3 questions before you get any questions out?
I can answer questions or give you questions. It don't matter either way.
All right, all right. I like the energy that you have. Hey Cheryl, how you doing? Are you a flat earther, Cheryl?
I'm still not sure which way. I don't know if it's round or flat, so I can't say I'm a flat earther.
Oh, okay.
Oops, I'm sorry about that. Hold on,
Thank,
man.
thank you. All right, go ahead, Mike. Ask the brother a question. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Let's give him a new question because that one was, I guess, that's a little bit too much.
Oh, hold up. Before you go, brother, are you a Bible believer?
Yes.
Ah, there you go. You write it. You write. Mike's
It's not, but I see it in a different way. I see it as an African thing, like
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. But
Africa of the Bible.
do you see the flat Earth in the Bible though?
Do I think flat Earth is in the Bible?
Yeah.
Yes, I also think flat Earth is in the Bible as well.
So ask him a question about that then, Mike. That's in your alley right there.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Sure.
Waya as Elohim et harakia wayabdil bin hamiyam
I don't speak that.
aser mit. I'm showing it to you. Just hold it on one second. Okay. Mitahat. I'm sorry, I'm making a mistake because you cut me off there. Mitahat la rakia. That's the word again in question. Ubin hamayim asir me al rakia 3 times. Ha or wahikin. Okay. The end is a little bit funny because I'm looking at it without dots.
Sure,
But here it is. Rakia. Okay, and you can look that word up. And I'll pull it up, grab my book. I got a book right here next to me. Okay. The question is, what is the firmament? And I'm not sure if you saw what that brother presented earlier, but okay, what is your model about the firmament? Is it as relates to the definition of rakia? And I'll give you the definition so we can be sure.
Sure.
Firmament. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Firmament. Now, what is the firmament? How does it relate to your flat earth? And how do we keep a sky over our head, brother? Okay.
The firmament is just meaning the arc of the sky.
Beautiful.
It's just like the arc, the heavens, or you would say the water that floats. I mean the water that's above us, the arc of the sky. That's what the
Beautiful.
firmament was supposed to mean, and I think that's what he was trying to pretty much say out there, that the arc is the arc of the sky is the firmament. Now I'm not talking about the Hebrew version, because I know the Hebrew version have a different meaning, but I also know the Hebrew version with the people who say this, they wrote the Hebrew Bible, which I kind of think that it's coming from white people, but that the Hebrew Bible also state is also like an arc of the sky, if that's correct.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the word is hoag.
Right. So if you look up, if you actually look what's in the sky, we all know that it's actually hydrogen and oxygen, the same thing that's in the water. So when we say the arc of the sky or the water of the sky, we also say that it's water on the ground, above and below. So that's where we get the water above and water below thing that's in the Bible.
Okay, now the below, and that's beautiful, and I'm with you so far.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So when you say above and below, what is the below? Are you talking about the waters that are actually on the actual ground that the scripture says that he separated waters from waters? Or are you talking about water reservoirs under the surface? Or are you talking about, again, as I asserted, more of a oblate spheroid, that the water is not only arcing over the top, as you say, with the clouds, but it's arcing all around 360 degrees around the mass that is the rock of Earth.
Right. You get different shapes when it comes to Earth believers, but me knowing the and like the African, what I call the African Bible, the way we African the Bible up. it's pretty much the water in below is the ice. That's what we come with the difference of water, because ice is still water. It's just a solid water. So when it says the arc of the sky and the arc and the water below, it's a different. Both of it is water, but it's two different types of water. One of a solid water and one of a open bubble like water.
Okay. Well, the Bible refers to actual water tables being under the ground.
Yeah,
It
it's
talks
just
about
water in one place.
in the book of Job. It talks about it talks about in the book of Job, which is preferably the oldest referenced book in the Bible, right? It talks about the springs of water at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, the springs of water.
We're not talking about aquifers. We're not talking about aquifers. This what I'm trying to get you to tell us or teach us is okay. You said that the water is ice under the ground. That's what basically you're saying in a layman's version, right?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Does that water ever melt? Because the brother before you came and he said that not only I asserted that the Marianas Trench is a very deep trench, but there are super deep boreholes called colas in the earth that go down, I mean, way deep, right? Where does that relate to those things? Like if there's holes, chasms in the earth, and we've never seen ice down there to that degree.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, we see temperature difference immensely rising.
Temperature.
Yes, because we have even hot springs. We have hot springs at low points under the earth in the deep parts of the ocean.
Right.
Just as we have those aquifers, we have hot springs all over. And you know, I'm in California. There's hot springs even up here on higher elevations, right?
Yeah.
So we understand that the water that's under the earth is not locked up in ice. That's proven. We've proven that.
That's not proven because only way they ever find the core of the earth, I believe the deepest they ever went was 18 miles. So we really don't know what's in the core of the earth. We just know it's
you said 18
high.
miles. He said 8 miles.
18.
Which one of them is more true? 18?
I believe it was 18. That's what they said. I'm not sure. But yeah.
Hold on a second. This is Garfield. I gotta ask you a question, brother.
Sure.
All right. And I want people to pay attention to this. Now, my brother just said whether it's 8 miles or 18 miles, they say. Who is the they?
Thank you.
The people who's
For that type of information, right?
Yeah, pretty much you
all right.
You know.
Now, those people that record that type of information, do they say that the earth is flat or they say it's round? Or it's a globe?
They also say the earth is round.
Okay, so why would you take? So that's why you're kind of nonchalant with the information.
We can't say all of it as a whole. Some of it could be right and some of it could be wrong. I could say 1 + 1 is right. I mean, 1 + 1 is 2. That's right. But if I say, hey, the earth is round, that could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? So just because they got one thing right doesn't mean the other thing is wrong.
Good answer. But let me ask you this. Who's all right. So if the earth is flat, right? How long is the earth?
How long is the earth?
Yeah.
Man, this is pretty big, man.
I'm sorry, bro.
Hey, I didn't, you know, I can't give you the exact measures of the.
All right. So when I was in,
I know,
when I was in processing, hold on, brother. When I was in processing with the Nation of Islam, they gave us something called actual facts, and we had to remember.
Yeah, that's right.
Those 15, 20 years ago, I still remember them like it was yesterday. So when they asked about the earth, what's the circumference of the earth? We said 196,940,000 square miles. We have 139,685,000 that's water, and we have 57,255,000 that's land. Now, the human body is 70 to 75% water. So use that to say how we're connected. This is what the 5%ers would say, you know, like Erykah Badu and them. They would say that we are connected to the earth. So we are part of the earth, and that's why we have this percentage of water, because that percentage is really what the whole earth has. All right. I say that to say this.
Okay.
if all this information that I spewed out to get my ex, or to potentially get my ex in the Nation of Islam, named Garfield X. So if I had to spew all this information out, so that means all this information is incorrect, right?
Some of it.
I want to know what is the flat earthers' actual facts, because I had to study all this stuff. And so you're telling me I'm wasting my time studying all that stuff, bro? That's what you're telling me?
No, I ain't saying you waste your time. I'm just saying some of it could be wrong or some of it could be right. So when you say how would I know this? It's basically going what I see. I mean, I can literally go on a plane and look down, go all the way from Flight to America, all the way to Africa, and know that I went through a flat surface. When I see the lay of the land, I also see that it's more of a flat surface. So it's kind of like I don't.
All right. Forget about
okay, Can I give him a question here? Hold on, I have a beautiful. Hold on, Mike. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, I gotta be fair. Let me ask you this, brother. Have you ever seen a picture of the Earth before?
Of course, you talking about the global Earth thing?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Have you ever seen a picture from NASA or when they're live? I remember I did a post one day when they were broadcasting live from outer space, and they were moving, and you could see the Earth. You could see the shape of the Earth. So I'm saying, what would you accept as facts? Because if you're gonna accept science, you gotta accept all of science. That's you see how I do it. I basically accept the consensus. So that means I will accept what the majority of scholars agree on, right? Whether it's dealing with scholarship, whether it's dealing with the flat Earth, whether it's dealing with evolution. I gotta agree with the consensus. I gotta be consistent. I can't fake it. Now, if the consensus of scientists say that the Earth they're not saying it's round like a circle, but it has some sort of oval shape.
Like an eye shape, right? Like a shape of a burger.
Pretty much, right.
Yeah.
And because if you look at what Mike put up earlier, it's actually like an eye shape a little bit. All right, so now let me ask you this now. What would be proof for you to say that the Earth is not flat?
Well, in that eye shape, it's more of a flat Earth. In that eye shape, when we say flat, I guess we're just trying to catch your attention when we say flat, but it's not necessarily flat. We also know that it's a circle. So when we say the circle of the Earth, we also know that it's a circle, but we also know it's the shape of an eye. So it's like a big hamburger, right? And the bottom of the bun would be like the ice. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, one second.
Okay.
The bottom bun would be like the ice, and the top.
So you're not really a flat earther then.
That's right. But that is a flat
that's
earth,
right. He's explaining what an oblate spheroid is, but exactly when you have an oblate spheroid, you have to understand that the bottom is not the same width as the sides where the Earth actually bulges, or what you say in the eye shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a question here, brother. Let me give you a beautiful question to bring this into perspective for you.
Sure.
Okay, and it doesn't have to be a question. It could be a thought. All right, relevant thought to what we're dealing with today. North Korea, right?
Yeah.
The other day the people in Hawaii got a missile, a missile code launch thing, and text. Everybody got texts and saying it get in the shelters, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, they have a reaction time that they deal with, right? Mm-hmm. That will allow them to get in a safe place, right? If there's a missile launch, they've worked out the numbers, right?
Okay.
Now, that's not the question. The question is intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Mm-hmm.
If North Korea could ever hit the United States with an intercontinental ballistic missile, it cannot fly beneath that firmament. Why? Because actually, if you fired a ballistic missile from continent to continent, it would hit the wrong trajectory every single time because of many factors. So what do they do? Here, hold on one second. So what do? A ballistic missile You don't see them flying off parallel with the ground. You don't see them going off in a
Hold on, you said
40-degree
85
arc.
parallel to
You
the
see them, 1 second, brother, 1 second. You see them firing them directly into the air. North Korea, China, India, United States, everybody that does it, they have to fire it outside of the atmosphere and chart a trajectory, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
It depends on how. It depends on.
See, I'm saying that because you said that you're more akin to things that you see. You say you got on the plane and you notice that you think you flew flat, straight.
Yeah, parallel,
right?
like, yeah.
I'm saying to you, if you want to hit another continent with a missile.
Yeah, you more of an arc shape.
Because this thing that we just described as an oblate spheroid, it spins and it is oblate because of its spin and its partner, the moon.
Well, oblate
I'm
is
saying
also
to
arc.
you, 1 second, let me get to it. I know it seems long, but I want you to understand, because this ain't just for you. This is for thousands of people that's going to hear this. Right? North Korea never launches those terrible missiles parallel. They always do it up trajectory and it falls down in Japan Sea, right? So if that is an actual reality and you see that, why is it that you're talking about a flat earth? Because that is the same thing as talking about flying from continent to continent. Those planes have to be on a schedule for a reason. They even have to fly at a certain altitude for a reason at different times. That's why I mentioned the jet stream earlier, being a part of the upper atmosphere.
Yeah.
All of these things have to be dealt with. It's not as simple as saying, brother, that you believe a flat earth and you believe it's an oblate spheroid, because even that is contradictory and it is very confusing, not just to Garfield, because he just said it, but it's confusing to people that are of less mental capacity. Sure. So when you come in, these things that are common sense, we can look at them. We know you can't fire a continental ballistic missile from California to Korea under the clouds. We know this. We can look up all types of physics and all types of ballistics information. What do you say to that?
Well, you kind of got your thought organization wrong. If I think that's
I don't think my thought organization can never be wrong. My thought organization is not wrong, because it's what I meant to ask you. What you hear and what you want to explain may be of a deficit. That's probably why you have a problem with it. But brother, I'm gonna ask you just like the other guy. I just gave you some priceless information that is right as rain, and you can see it.
Right.
Will you deal with it? Intercontinental ballistic missiles have to be fired outside of our upper atmosphere and have to come back in at a trajectory that has to do with actual Earth spin.
See, okay.
Now, they got you under a threat of North Korea, brother. This is real. This is real. This is not conspiracy.
Let him respond.
If I can explain, I definitely agree with you when you say how you take off with a rocket, but you gotta also realize a rocket can also fire parallel. If the rocket was more of a shape of a gun, it can actually fire parallel. It don't have to always go straight up as an arc and going down. But even so, that arc shape also shows that how this Earth works. It works as an arc. So when they fire that missile, of course it's gonna go as an arc. When you fly off a plane, you go straight up and go as an arc and come straight down. So even both of your examples shows and prove the way of an arc. Then when I say the oblique form is just a circle, that's not true, because like I said, it can be in the shape of a hamburger. If you actually look at a hamburger from straight down, you can see that it's just a circle shape, and it can be an arc on top of that. So it's like it's that's why I said some of it you kind of got me wrong. And then on top of that, None of this stuff makes sense on a global Earth thing. That the Earth can spin, right? And yet we cannot feel it spinning. Like if that was the case, all of us would be going sideways right now. If the Earth, you want to talk about the arc of the sky, as the firmament, as as we were talking about, that arc doesn't prove how the whole arc can be on top of a global Earth. It don't that arc, that sky don't flip a global Earth thing. If that was the case in the Bible, when the Bible said the arc of the sky, and to have a global Earth, it don't fit that arc of the sky scenario. And then another thing on that, when you flying on an airplane as a global Earther, you would be more flying in sideways, not more of a parallel shape. Like if I want to go from here to China, right? And if China supposed to be below us or something like that, I'll be flying as if I'm going down. I'll probably get a headache because I'll probably be sitting upside down, you know. If that's how global Earth wanted.
Brother, can I stop you before you go too far into that? Because what you're doing is actually, because I don't want you to ruin your credibility.
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna just refer you back to the earlier part of my presentation.
Sure.
I gave you the intercontinental ballistic stuff, but I gave these people that are listening ballistics as relates to bullets, bullet trajectory, and I gave them a word called momentum. Mm-hmm. And how that works if you were to fire a bullet from Louisiana to Michigan in a perceived due north pattern. I showed them through the Coriolis effect how and why it would not land due north. And this is another actual theory that can be proven even through military science.
Yeah, but it's
the bullet, brother, one second. The bullet, mm-hmm. You can try it 1,000,000 times and it'll never fail. I'm telling you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You can fire the bullet from Louisiana to Michigan and it will never land in Michigan on this earth because Louisiana is closer to the equator. That bulge that you're speaking about, that I perceive that you're only half right about. Okay. I'm saying to you, momentum is conserved because of the spin of the earth and it causes a dip to the right.
Why can't we?
This is exactly 1 second, brother. You're really quick on talking, but I want you to be quick to listen, slow to speak, quick to listen. Mm-hmm. That's why they have to fire missiles out of the atmosphere for long distance ballistics, even intercontinental ballistics. Mm-hmm. Okay. They are actually accounting for, brother, 1 second, please. They are accounting for the Earth's shape, the Earth's atmosphere, momentum, resistance, distance. Mm-hmm. All of that is all added in when you deal with a word called trajectory. Okay? Mm-hmm. These are things that you can't just say, well, they said, or I don't believe that, or that don't sound. No, brother. If it's hard, concrete, that you can prove it over and over and over, this is what makes science theory stick and last throughout the generations. Repeatable models, repeatable exercises. Now, this is my last statement to you. Mm-hmm. When you come back to anyone that disagrees with you about a flat earth, and I don't want to be disrespectful and speak condescendingly. I'm just saying, when you speak about it again, these things that I'm speaking about, I think you should explore them fully through physics, through meteorology, and through ballistics that have to do with long distance ballistics. Okay.
Right.
All right, brother.
Yeah, I understand. You know, even with that, right. If I can give my closing statement,
yes,
even with that, your whole trajectory also fit a flat Earth. So it's we're kind of fighting for the same thing. And on top of that, when you come to science, everything they say about science is not technically true. Some things they don't know about. It might just give a theory or give a lie. So you can't really give too much believe too much theory. You know, as I can see, if I
give me an example of that.
I'm sorry.
Give me an example of what you're saying. Because we got to be careful because folks like to
That's right.
science. Science is the study of nature.
The study of nature, right? And
But that doesn't mean science can't be right. Because but the great thing about science is it could change tomorrow because there's something new that reveals truth to us because our only goal is really truth. So we got to be careful because I don't like this little conspiracy talk where we say, oh, and they, when you use the term they don't want this or you can't trust science. When you talk like that, it's a turn off because I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
Everything we do, bro, has to do with science. Some of us say we live natural and we still go to the doctor. Why? Because that's a part of science. So everything we do, we have children and we go to a hospital. That's a part of science. So we can't disown. Is either we're going to accept science or we just
flat Earth as well.
Hey, all right. So finish your point, brother. I got somebody coming in.
If I can finish. Oh, my bad, man.
Go ahead, beloved. Go ahead, bro. And I love the conversation, by the way. No arguing. There's no interrupting. Right. But hey.
That's right.
Yeah, when it comes to the science, I mean, I agree with you, but you gotta understand, sometimes scientists can be wrong. That's why I say about they. I mean, scientists, the ones who actually study science, sometimes can be wrong because everybody could be a scientist. Everybody studies nature. But when you say a scientist, the ones who represent a specific community, that's why I was talking about they. But when I say I study nature and stuff like that, and why flat Earth is also part of science, is why science can be wrong sometimes. Because if you look at Dr. Sebi proved science is wrong by simply knowing about the body. So So yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Not going there, bro.
Nope.
I apologize. We are not going there. No.
My bad. I thought I was rocking with him.
No.
We are rocking with Dr. Sebi, brother. We love Dr. Sebi and what his contribution was. We're not gonna say he's
but he also proved science is wrong.
No, hold on a second.
No, that's not right, bro.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Let me say this. Dr. Sebi, rest in power. He did his thing. He made us more aware of things that we can eat and how to be healthy. He made us aware. Now, that doesn't mean Dr. Sebi was right or wrong. I'll say this about Dr. Sebi. Anybody that talks about Dr. Sebi needs to go and read his court records in New York. If you haven't read the court records, don't talk about it.
Okay.
Because the court records will tell you what is what and what he did. So if you haven't read the court records on Dr. Sebi, don't talk about it.
And let me add one thing else. When we talk about assumption as relates to science, the hypothetical is always never asserted in a mass teaching. The hypothetical is saved for model and research. And the biggest example you have of that is Geneva, Switzerland, with the CERN machine. They're studying the subatomic particle field, and they have some hypothetical conclusions, like words like, and write these down, remember them, Kaluza and Klein towers. These are hypothetical theories that they can't prove, but they can show you the things that are the fallout from that. And so research is never asserted on the mass public without actual repetition. Right, brother?
You're right.
And that's the same way we ought not to teach our people. I mean, that's the way we ought to teach our people. Excuse me.
When you say not,
if it can't be, I said, excuse me.
Not teach our people.
If it can't be, that's the thing that we should teach our people. If it can be repeatable, then we are to teach it to our people. And everything I've given in this presentation, it is repeatable, and it has been even infallible since the first recordation of weather and event. And so, brother, I say to you, peace and black power, and it was a great conversation. Great conversation. And I remember some of the things that you asserted, like the water, the ice under there, because I hadn't heard a flat earther say that particular model.
because
And I'm gonna add that to. I'm gonna add that to what I've, what I've experienced. So you gave me something new tonight.
Yeah, if I could finish my closing statement, I mean, you taught me something, especially I got to look up the stuff you're talking about. And